Hey guys, GustoLoL here, bringing you a brand new video. This is something very different today. I am bringing you my first champion guide video. This video features Nautilus, the Titan of the depths. In recent years, Nautilus has been played in top lane, support and jungle roles, but today I will only be focusing on support as I'm a support main. So without further ado, let's get into it. We'll start off with Nautilus abilities, and we'll start with his passive, Staggering Blow, where Nautilus's basic attacks deal 8 to 110 based on level bonus physical damage and root his target for X seconds. However, this cannot occur on the same target more than once every few seconds. Now we'll move on to the Q, Dredge line. He hurls his anchor forward in a line. If Nautilus hits an enemy, it will drag them both together. If the anchor hits terrain, Nautilus goes to the end of the anchor's path and the cooldown is reduced by 50% and 50% of the mana cost is refunded. Moving on to W, Titan's Wrath. Nautilus shields himself for up to 10 seconds. While the shield holds, his basic attacks deal bonus magical damage over 2 seconds to his target and all enemies around them. Moving on to E, Riptide. Creates 3 waves of explosions that radiate from him. Each explosion deals magic damage to all enemies hit and slows them by an amount decaying over 1.5 seconds. If enemies are hit by multiple waves, they deal reduced damage. And finally, Nautilus's R, Depth Charge. He sends out a charge that chases the target enemy. It's a point and click ability, dealing magic damage and knocking them up for 1 second, which will also stun them on arrival. All enemies in the path of the charge are also knocked up for 1 second and they are also stunned. So moving on to skill order, I usually take at level 1 either Q or E depending on who I'm facing. If I'm with quite an aggressive AD carry, I will start Q. For level 2 I would then take the other one that I didn't take, and level 3 you'd start maxing W. For maxing on Nautilus I would say EQW. There is an argument for EWQ, but the reason I max Q second is because I value the cooldown on the ability to allow me to make more plays, and if you miss the Q it's less punishing. The enemy will not be able to punish you as much. So how to use the skills. So most of the time you'll be initiating with Q or your R if it's available. You can proc your passive on all enemies that you auto attack, but you want to prioritize the carries or in the important enemies first. When you go in, you can use E and W to slow enemies and to give yourself a big shield. The shield does go off HP, so it's really good to max out as well. When using your ultimate, you can always use it on an enemy at the back of a team fight, which would usually be the enemy ADC. So you can usually get a big knock up on multiple enemies, and this can just turn into a wombo combo with certain team compositions. His ultimate just works really well with certain team synergies. For example, Yasuo loves Nautilus's ultimate. Imagine a Nautilus ultimate into a Sejuani ultimate, into a J4 ultimate. There's so many possibilities that can be done with his ultimate. So moving on to runes, I prefer in the first tree Resolve, in which I'll take Aftershock, Font of Life, Iron Skin and Overgrowth. I will then take in the secondary tree Inspiration, and I would always choose Futures Market and Cosmic Insight. I value the CDR a lot, mainly just it is a playmaking support. You want to make plays, and that CDR is really important. And Futures Market, I would always choose that, mainly because it just allows Nautilus to get tank items a lot faster, and it's just really beneficial for him and many other tank supports. Although you can use the same runes in the primary tree, but with Biscuit Delivery and Celestial Body in the second tree for lanes with a bit more poke. If you're against a harder lane, it gives you a lot more HP and a lot more potions to work with in lane if you think you're going to be poked out. So for items, I will start with Relic Shield obviously and 3 potions. Because a lot of supports can poke you out of lane, After that, you kind of want to aim to finish your ward item as soon as possible, because it does give you 500 HP. As of this video, there will be a patch coming out where the HP is reduced, but as of this video going out, the item does give you 500 XP. I say XP, I mean HP, sorry there. So once you've done your ward item, you'll want a core build of Locket and Knight's Vow. The other items that you can get after that can be situational. I personally like to pick up a Redemption. Later on is my 4th or 5th item, and I would always include a Righteous Glory as well. It's just amazing for engages, it's amazing to get into the back line. You can just power through and just press R on someone. For boots, I mainly like to get Mercury Treads against high CC teams. Yeah, I'd usually get these standard anyway, because the enemy normally does have AP anyway, usually in the mid lane, sometimes jungle as well. Support mages are very popular at the minute, and a lot of CC supports are very popular as well. Braum is especially popular as of this patch. So having Mercury Treads to stop stuns when you're engaged, because once you pull the trigger, you're in there, so they're very important. But there's obviously arguments for Ninja Tabbies and all the other boots as well, so you can make multiple choices on what you want. So yeah, I hope this guide has been helpful and provides some good advice for playing Nautilus support in Season 8. This is a champion that is very, very fun to play and does not have many weak matchups. Although he could be poked out of lane, if you survive your first back, he will just dominate lane. He's extremely strong. He's extremely strong at every stage of the game. His hook, his ultimate, his whole kit is game changing. So yeah, he's just a really fun to play champion. He's just, yeah, a game changer and possibly one of the best engage tips in the game. So let me know what you thought of this guide. I will be doing many more guides on how to play certain support champions. If you have a support champion that you would like me to complete a video for, then please let me know in the comment section. Obviously, I'd like to thank all the fans that I have so far for your continuous support of the channel. I'm very much in your debt. I'm very appreciative of what you have all done for the channel so far. I was actually going to mention Nautilus's skins, but I didn't really think that was too important to an actual guide, and the same with the lore. I know some people do those in their guide videos, but for me, in mine, I just wanted to just focus on the basics and actually how to play Nautilus. Just aim for the carry and you're all good. So I'm going to leave you with a little bit of music, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the guide. I'll see you next time. Bye.